The Mental Health is a Lifestyle podcast is not a substitute for a relationship with your mental health professional. Hello. Welcome back to the Mental Health is a Lifestyle podcast with your girl, Andrea Wise Brown. Hey, family. We are back again for another episode. And on today's episode, your girl is here by herself. I'm here by myself. I don't have an interview today. However, I am here to tell my family where I've been this past weekend because I did something different. I challenged myself. And for me, it was big. And so I'm just wondering, as I tell you guys this story, because you are my family and you should be included in certain things that I do, if you could pull up in your mind something that you wish that you could do. And yet, if you had no fear, no negative thoughts surrounding it, and someone gave you the opportunity, if you would actually do it, jump at the opportunity to actually do it, would you? And is there something in your life? So let me just tell y'all, this happened to me this weekend. So I was asked to host an event at South by Southwest. And I'm not sure if you guys even know what the South by Southwest Festival is, but it is a festival that is held in Austin, Texas, here every year in March. And I believe it's like for 2 weeks in March. And it is a musical festival where there's a whole bunch of artists who come there and bands who play, musicians who play. And then there's also there's a lot of tech. It's like, so that like new technical companies who are out and in a tech conference that actually goes on. And so South by Southwest is popping. Okay. Austin is popping. I went to South by Southwest maybe, I don't know. I don't even know if it was some years ago. I don't know if it was 6 or 7 years ago. I went there and just hung out during this time because not only is this time spring break for a lot of people who live in Texas, but it's also my birthday. So my birthday is, in March every year. Okay. And so I went down to celebrate my birthday. Okay. And I remember that. And I remember it was good. I remember Austin has this free feeling, like you can be all that you want to be in Austin. Very free. Kind of gives you the New York feeling without the edge. Okay. Because, y'all know I'm from New Jersey, which, is right over the bridge from New York. So I grew up in that area. And, y'all say that we a little edgy. You know what I'm saying? We kind of like say it like we mean it. Some people say that, East Coasterners, New Yorkers, Jerseyers, we're rude. That's what I heard, some people say when I moved to Texas. However, I'm going to say we're not rude. It's just that we're not pretenders and we're not pretentious. If you know us, then we got your back. But if we don't know you, we don't know if we should have your back. See what I'm saying? And we don't know if you got our back. So that's why you New Yorkers or East Coasterners always looking at everybody with the side eye. That's what it is. It's like the side eye. It's the side eye thing. That's what it is. And it could be all in love with a straight cold face, honey. But it could be love there. But when we mess with you and we know that you cool and we could trust you, then trust me, you got a loyal person in your life forever. And that's just what we do on the East Coast. So anywho, Austin is very free spirited like New York, but without the edge. Everybody is welcoming. Everybody is smiling. They're like, I don't even know if you're going to cut me in my back or not, or what. It don't even matter. I love you anyway. Let's just be free. And I do believe that if you have a certain amount of marijuana and you're in Austin, I do believe that you may get a ticket or not, but you don't go to jail. I do believe that. Now, I am not a lawyer. My daughter is. I'm not a lawyer. I probably need to fact check that first, but I think so. And I also do believe that in New York, I think that's also a law now. Not sure, but I'll just say this. The people there be high, okay? They be high on the street, walking around just in La La Land. And I love it. It is free and it feels safe. So, anywho, Austin. Now, let me just tell y'all how I got to Austin this weekend and I did something big that I'm so proud of and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to do it. And I want to share it with you. Okay, so I want to say just not too long ago before, so it was just this past weekend. So not too long ago, um, um, my friend who owns Poopery. So does everybody know what Poopery is? So Poopery is this. Oh my gosh! Wait, hold on. I'm gonna show y'all what Poopery is because you. First of all, I'm obsessed with Poopery. Let me show y'all what Poopery is. And then I want to also show y'all this new thing that Poopery is doing. I'm going to pause it for 1 second. So my friend Susie Batiste owns a company that's called Poopery. Now, so interesting. I might sound like I'm biased when I tell you that I love this product, like I'm obsessed with this product, but it's not true because I love the product before we became friends. I didn't even know who she was. Let me tell y'all something. Anybody who knows me knows that I love Poopery. Okay? So I'm putting it up here. Hopefully you can see it on the screen. Poopery. I love it. So what this does is it traps odor in the toilet. So if you have to go poo at home or, if you out in the a restaurant or you at a friend's house, sometimes you may eat something that does not agree with you and you have to poo. You already know when you go to the bathroom and you have to poo, you are afraid, okay, like something else to that someone may be coming in that bathroom after you. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want to be labeled the stinky person. Like that person is stink. That person is funky. That person is pooey. Because then that kind of takes away from your edge. Even though, I mean, come on now. Being mature, we all poo and we all pee. But nobody wants to walk around being known as the poo-poo person. Okay. So that is where this came from, Poopery. Because what Susie did was she came up with a way with essential oils to trap odor in the daggone toilet bowl. So you go to the bathroom, you spray the bowl first, you do your poo, you flush. You always say a good courtesy flush is good. Every time you poo, you got to flush, so it don't stay. But anywho, it don't matter because the Poopery will save you. And then when you get up and you leave out, when you go wash your hands, if somebody's coming in after you, they like, oh, they smell delicious. They don't even smell the Poopery. Okay, so that's what this is. And let me tell you something. I have been traveling with this, using this way before I met Susie. Okay, Poopery, and like her brand has expanded so much. Like she even has, look, y'all, like a tropical air. Yeah. So that's air spray. That's air spray. Okay, y'all. She got a candle. Now y'all know I have a candle, but she got a candle here. There you go, Poopery, and this is for pet odor. Okay, that's for pet odor. Okay, and she has this new activation. It's a tech activation that she has, and she was displaying that during this event. Okay, so she was displaying this new tech thing, and see how this cute little thing here is. It's so cute. I'm show you the front and I'm gonna show you the back. And so this is a new tech application that she kind of was introducing to the people who were there. At the same time that she put on this huge event at the Speakeasy. So the Speakeasy is this club, and it's a 3-floor club with like a basement for a VIP room and a rooftop that was so dope that she put a podcast on. So it's like let's say a 3-floor club. Yeah, There we go, with a basement and a rooftop, but it was fabulous. Just totally done up, real chill, just delicious. And she put on this event. So at the event, they, right, was giving everyone this. This is a new application. And what you get to do with this is you get to take your phone, go to the back, and they say you tap it, but you can tap it with your phone, right? And it comes up, there's a game, an application that comes up on your phone. And once you get the application on your phone, you can play with it. You can interact with the poopery tech. And what it did was it gave you like a schedule and a calendar of everything that was happening. But in addition to that, it also gave away free things, like all kinds of free goodies that you got if you played with them. So it's really a game. This was something new, something really new and innovative for poopery. Okay. And let me tell y'all this was so cool about it. So not only do you tap it and you do that and you can interact and play, right? Because now they are in the tech world. But guess what, child? If you have this, then you don't have to carry this too in your purse, which I do, because they even got smaller pocket ones that you can carry with you. But you don't have to carry this anymore, because this one, you can carry this in your pocket. Okay. You got to, and guess what, y'all? There is a spray. Did y'all just see that? I just sprayed and it smells delicious. So the poopery spray comes out here. So if you have to go to the bathroom and you at the club, you know what I'm saying? You go to the bathroom and you at the supermarket, this little thing here sits in your back pocket and it sprays away the funk. Okay. And it's a way to be interactive in the tech world. So super dope. That's amazing for Susie to do all of that. So good. All right. But let me tell y'all how I ended up there. So, um, a few days before, Susie contacted me. Susie and her new husband. So Susie is married. So Susie and her new husband, she contacted me and she said, Andrea, we want you to host this event. We want you to host this event that we are having. It's going to be a big event. We are going to be introducing her husband, and his name is Keith Young. However, he is a dynamic performer, and his performance name, stage name is Preacher. It's Preacher. So you have to go look him up. Preacher, look him up on all social media. I mean, just him performing, you just feel like it is something to witness. He is an amazing performer. And when you watch him, while he's up there, he just makes you feel good. You just feel good. So Preacher, so you have to follow Preacher, Keith Young. His name is Preacher. And so anywho, you have to follow him on all social media, but he was performing. But along with him performing, there was a whole bunch of other people who performed too. So let me just get to the juice. So the juice is that she asked me, your girl, to perform. I mean, look at me. I said to perform, but to host the event, which is like a performance. Y'all get me? Are y'all with me on this? So, of course, when she asked your girl, and this is what I told y'all, I want y'all to think about if there's something that you wish that you could do, but you may have been afraid to do it, and yet in your wildest dreams, if someone just gave you the opportunity to do it, would you run? Would you make an excuse, or would you say, hell yes, and go do it? Because let me tell y'all what your girl did. I did what I would tell y'all to do. I said, hell yes. And I did it. So at first, they had a private performance at their beautiful home, humongous, gorgeous home. They have a state of the art, what is it? A state of the art studio that's in the home, just gorgeous. So they, invited some their close friends in, and they had to a performance. So at the performance, she asked me to do a little MC there in front of the people who were there. And what did your girl say? Your girl said, hell yes. What time and when? Okay. What time and when? So I went and I did that, right? And I did that very informal, but just full of love. Susie and her husband, they just make you feel loved. And I just felt love. It's like it is a spiritual revolution, just being in their energy because they're so in love and you just get pulled in. It just feels so good. So anywho, I got some of that. Okay. So I got some of that and I did the thing at their home at their private event. So then after that, okay, now, of course, they also asked me to do the event in South by Southwest. So now we tracking. Y'all with me? Just giving y'all some background because I don't want to leave you out. I want to show you, where your girl been. So whew, I rent me a car and I'm driving down to Austin in the car by myself, driving down to Austin. Okay. So get down to Austin. I get my room and I go into the place, and the place was called Speak Easy, and it was amazing. So here also, there was something else, oh Lord, that they that was new for them, that they kind of showed the world, that they displayed, and that is a new podcast that Susie and her husband has. And the name of the podcast is called Holy Shit. That's what I'm telling you about these people. I love them. It's called Holy Shit, where they did interviews. So the podcast is coming out soon, and Preacher's his debut album is also coming out soon. So y'all look for both of those. And Poopery Honey is just going to be around. But if you could join the tech world, then you join the tech world with them too. Okay, so they did their podcast. They did their podcast in front of an audience, and it was dope. It was amazing. It was beautiful. It was great. And so then, okay, I believe it's in collaboration with Rolling Stone. Y'all know Rolling Stone, okay? This ain't no little thing here, all right? This is big business, okie dokie. So yeah, they're in collaboration with Rolling Stones. Now that's my friend, but I ain't in a business. I don't know who did what and how but I know they're in collaboration because Rolling Stones was there, and you know what I'm saying, and the podcast was there. Okay. So then now it is time for the different performances. So your girl is there. Your girl and got a little outfit together. Your girl is me. I'm just saying. I'm there. I get my outfit together, and now it's time for me to get ready to go up on stage. As I'm doing anything in life, I really try to stay present so that I don't get really anxious. But just like anyone else and everyone else, anytime you're about to do a new thing or something different, your anxiety will rise. And I've told y'all about anxiety. I've taught you guys about anxiety. If you want to learn more about it, you can go to an older podcast because it's there where I kind of teach you about anxiety. And that everybody has anxiety, but everybody's wired to have a different level of anxiety. Okay, some needs to be managed by medication, and some can be managed by deep breathing, meditation, other things, exercise, all that stuff that you can find in my book. Okay, so as I'm kind of walking through the building, and oh, y'all, let me tell y'all this. I'm so grateful. So they had me hosting on the main stage. So this was the ballroom. So remember I told you they had 3 floors. So there was musicians on all 3 floors. But I was to introduce people, or to be the MC, or to be the host at the main ballroom. That was on the middle floor. That was the main ballroom. Okay, the main one. All right. Okay. So as I'm walking up to the stage, and I'm just side stage, okay, side stage, I just really started to think like, okay, Andrea, how did I get here? Because this is amazing. Okay. Like, this is amazing. Like, I feel amazing. I'm grounded. I was centering myself. I was so excited and so grateful for the opportunity. I couldn't wait, honey. I couldn't wait for them to give me a mic and to get on stage, and I am a public speaker. I empower people for a living. Y'all know this. I am a trained licensed psychotherapist, but this was different, right? But this is the thing though. God gives us many, many, many gifts. And as I stood there on the side of that stage and I started to, really like sink into my body to ground myself, like, come on, girl, you getting ready to kill this thing, right? You getting ready to do it. I started to think, what are you doing here, girl? Like, what? And as the people were like filling up, there was so many, what are you doing here? And then as I settled in, I really started to think, because you were supposed to be here, because you were supposed to be here, because you can remember being a little girl and dreaming about being on stage, because you've always known in your gut and in your spirit that you are a performer, that you are a speaker, that you love to empower, that you love to move the crowd. The thought is, even me here as well as I'm on this podcast, but as a therapist, when I meet with a person, I meet them where they are. I meet their hearts. I want my heart to meet theirs. And I am really trying to help you to get to wherever it is that you want to be, to move the crowd. So I'm like, that is what I'm here for. And that's what this platform was for. Here, this Mental Health as a Lifestyle podcast was so that I can sit in one space and see many more people at one time to move the crowd. And so then it hit me like, yes, Andrea, when you was a little girl, and you used to get up on that stage and you would do the welcome at the church. When you would get up and do the welcome at the church, when all of your friends, and you wanted to be where your friends were, okay? But the people at the church saw something else in you. The pastor at the church, the elders in the church, they saw something else in you. And when they would ask you to come and do the welcome, and it would be like I can't remember if it was the fourth or the fifth, third Saturday. I used to be Seventh-day Adventist, but you'd get up on stage and then you would actually welcome all of the newcomers that came into the church. You'd have them stand up and then you'd welcome them to the church. You'd welcome them. You'd make them feel welcome. Y'all, I got tingles. I said, and at that time when I was a little girl and I was asked to do that, my mom, she would go out and she would buy me these expensive suits and outfits, and they were really out. They were they were dated, but they were dated for an older person, not like a young girl. Like, I wanted to wear what the young girls was wearing. I wanted to sit up in the balcony with my friends, and meet and hang out with the boys and stuff up in the balcony. But no, 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 no. Andrea needed to put on her suit, go down to the side, on the side, and wait in the pastor's chamber to come out and go up on that stage and think about her intention and the message that she wanted to deliver to make these newcomers feel welcome in the church. And so right in that moment, y'all, as I was standing on the side of the stage, I'm like, that was what prepared me, along with all this other stuff that I've been doing over these years, speaking on spots on TV and radio, being ready right at the last minute, learning how to settle into myself and not being afraid, grounding myself, and then using my voice of inspiration and empowerment and meeting people where they are. It all made sense in that moment. The reason I'm telling y'all this is not just to catch you up with what I've been doing, but to also just to give you, just want to let y'all know, to inspire you that you have so many gifts in you. And I just want to remind you, or to tell you, remind you if you've been told before, but to tell you if you've never been told before, that every single thing that you do in life, every single thing, even the things that you don't like, even some of the trials and tribulations that you go through in life, every single thing that you do is building you up for the next moment. It is building you up to prepare you for the next moment, because life gets better and better and better. And so when those opportunities come, you can say what I said: hell yes. Hell yes. So don't fight with life. This is something that Susie, would say to me during her spiritual teachings, and this is what I often say to you and everyone else and to my clients, is that life doesn't happen to you. You know, we often we can be victimized, but I don't ever want us to stay in a space where we live as a victim. Because I need you to understand that in all situations, there is a lesson for you to learn. Life happens for you, not to you, for you. So sometimes we fall down to be set up to go a little bit higher. Okay, all right, y'all. So I get up on stage. Hey, family, come on over here because I have something for you. Starting off with a go to guide for keeping your minds healthy and strong. This right here is the Bible to mental health. It's your mental health Bible. The name of it is Six Pillars to Power Up Your Mind and Make Mental Health a Lifestyle. Everything that you need to know about keeping your minds healthy and strong is in this go to guide. Where you get it from? Well, you get it from awisebrown.com/shop. But in this go-to guide, honey, in this mental health Bible, you know what you're going to find out? You're going to find out the benefits of aromatherapy. Oh, and how it can shift your mood. But guess what? You don't have to go any place else to look for your aromatherapy because your girls got you, okay? You can get some aromatherapy here. This is aromatherapy is in this candle. This is called a slice of happiness. It makes me tingle, like literally makes me tingle. A slice of happiness. This is a cruelty-free candle with no parabens, no formaldehyde, and no known suspected carcinogenics. Now, you know, you go out here and you find these candles that smell good, but are they good for you? Are they good for your brain? Come on now, get real with yourself. Well, this one smells delicious and it's good for you. Made with essential oils. It's a soy candle. Amazing. Uh, you can burn it or you can just walk by and smell it. Lord have mercy, it's so good. Okay, so that's your candle, your aromatherapy, which raises the dopamine in your brain. That's your natural feel good neurotransmitters in your brain. All right, y'all. And oh, I'm a part of you. You're a part of me. We are a family. We got hoodies now, and these are unisex hoodies, and they wear well, they wash well, and they feel so good. So you can wear them over your clothes, you know what I'm saying, and look dope, or you can wear them as your clothes with nothing under them, which I like to do often. And when you travel everywhere, I mean, every time I wear them, I'm moving around. People are always asking me whether I'm traveling, going to the supermarket. What's that? Who's that? And I'm like, mental health is a lifestyle. Because see, this is on the back. Okay? They come in white and they come in black. I'm like, join the family. Mental health is a lifestyle podcast. So there you go. Family, don't you ever say that I ain't give you nothing. You get all of these things from awisebrown.com/shop. All right? I got your goods. I got you. You don't have to go anyplace else. I'll see you on the other side. And I start introducing people. So I'm not going to mention all of them, but I will. I'm going to mention some of them. Okay. So, oh my gosh. So there's this guy. And then, you know, y'all can kind of like follow these people if you want to, like on social media. So there was this guy, this DJ Sean. He was so dope. He was so dope. He was so good. He got the crowd moving. Then, okay, there was this group that was up there. Now I think he's a guy. He's one guy, but with him, he actually brings dancers, and the dancers are also his background singers. Okay, so his name is Dos Negros. So he was up there, and what his style is, his performance style is let me see, it's the Caribbean and Afro beats, blending with neo soul. So he was a little dope. He was a little dope. And when his background singers came up, honey, before they come up, there's a chant, there's African chant that's going on, in the crowd, and everybody's hearing it. And then they get in the middle of the crowd and they start dancing, doing African dance. Then after they do that, and I don't even know how, okay, they was able to do all that dancing and all that good, great, amazing dancing, because I want to take one of them dance classes. And then they got up on stage, and then they was able to sing background behind them. So it was good. It was good. It was good. And he was funny too. He was good. He had messages to deliver, but he was entertaining. And then, oh my gosh, y'all, there was a woman. She is a former district attorney. Y'all have to look this woman up. Her voice is melodic. When she was singing, her name, let me give you her name, then I can tell you. Her name is Danielle Posner. She is a lawyer. She was a district attorney. And what she decided to do in her life, I'm sure she has a whole story, but she decided to put down the lawyer hat and become a full-time musician. And so, when you hear a story like that, you go, okay, all right, But when she got up on that stage, when she got up on that stage and she took that mic, let me tell y'all something. She didn't even do, and this is no shade to no other performer up there. She didn't even do a mic check. Now, usually they do a mic check, mic check, mic check. You know what I'm saying? I even do a mic check. Okay. I ain't even singing here. Just make sure that you could hear what I'm saying. She didn't even do a mic check. That sister got up on that stage, took that mic and start belting. It was amazing. Y'all, I literally felt like I was a mermaid in the sea when she was singing. She was amazing. You have to look her up. Danielle Posner, okay? Look her up. And I think her Instagram might be Danielle Posner Music or something. But I'm going to put, y'all, the picture. You see the picture? Put the picture up. Okay. And then you had, Janelle Monáe. So y'all all know Janelle Monáe. Y'all know Janelle Monáe. And wait, hold on. I want to make sure that I get her DJ name, because Janelle Monáe is also a DJ. Janelle Monáe's DJ name, because she's a DJ. Quick. Okay, so her DJ name is DJ Johnny Jane. She was dope. She was dope up there, mixing it up. She was dope. And there was another woman who was up there also, and she was really good. She was a great, she's a DJ also, and she's like an MC DJ, because she kind of like low-key took my little job for a minute. She just kind of like just took the mic. She didn't take it from me, but she took the mic. And a girl like me knows I want everybody to shine. So I knew, honey, she been doing this. She know what she doing. So I just kind of sat back, and she was like moving the crowd and everything. And her name was Natasha Diggs. She was dope. She was so dope. Yes, her name was Natasha Diggs. She had everything: the outfit, the hat, the glasses, and she was on the mic. She was amazing. Okay. Then I also want to tell y'all about, of course, Questlove. He was there. He DJ'd. Questlove. Bootsy Collins from back in the day. If you're a certain age, you know who Bootsy Collins is. So Bootsy Collins came out. He did a little appearance. He came out, a little appearance, whatever. Okay, all right. And he was introducing Questlove. And y'all know who Questlove is. A big deal. So he did a whole DJ set. Okay, all right. And then you have R.C. Williams, who is a Grammy winner, okay, a musician. So he was there, and he did two sets. He did a set on the first night, and then he did a set on the second night. So that would be Friday and Saturday. And he's dope too, a musical genius. He was amazing. And so now I can also tell you, like I told you before, I'm going to reiterate, also Preacher. So Preacher performed because his debut album is coming out. And remember, that is Keith Young. Preacher, he is dynamic. Y'all, is someone to see. Okay. someone to see, and you could just feel the energy. You could just feel the energy. But that, not but, and that was dope. And it was a dope experience for me to get up, in between acts and to check on the crowd, because the name of the building was called the Speak Easy, but the name of the party, honey, was called the Funk Factory. It was the Funk Factory. So we got funky. You hear what I'm saying? We got funky. And guess what? It was okay, because if you got funky, then what was you supposed to do? Spray some potpourri. You got me? You were supposed to spray some potpourri to make sure that it didn't stay funky, because potpourri traps the funk. Got it? Okay. So, an amazing event, and I had an amazing time getting up there on that stage and just providing one of the gifts that God gave me, to engage with the crowd, to make them feel like they were not there alone, and to let them know that they was going to be all right, because the next musician that's up is, whoever that was. It was amazing. And so so just want to tell y'all that we all have more than one gift. You just keep working at whatever it is that you do, and the next thing is going to come to you. And every single thing that you've done in your life, y'all hear what I say? Everything that you've been through in your life is preparing you for your next big moment. And for me, y'all, that was a huge moment. And I am so grateful to my friend Susie, and to her husband Keith. I am so grateful for y'all trusting me with emceeing and hosting the event. Ah, I'm like still on a cloud, y'all. Okay, so Austin was awesome. All right, so that's where your girl was. Now, in between time being there and just living life like a dream and feeling present and floating, I was floating. And so as I was doing that, I just also want to kind of give a shout out to this restaurant that I went to. Wait, before I can even tell y'all about this restaurant, this is another thing that I have to tell you about. So why did my daughter come and meet me there? So listen, so not only, did I get to, live this, live in this, in my gift, or, provide this service, or be in this space, as I'm there, with my friend. Okay. But then I'm also moving around by myself. But why, when I told my daughter that I had this opportunity, and that this, I was coming, I didn't ask her to come. I just told her I had this opportunity. She was like, you know what, Mom? She was in San Antonio. So she said, I'm going to San Antonio, because she went to the Drake and the J. Cole concert, which she said was amazing. So she did that on Friday night. And then she said, and so after the concert, we come in the next day. So it was her and her boyfriend. She said, we're going to come to Austin from San Antonio, because she said, I said, well, yeah, I told my baby, I said, listen, it's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you, I never want to be a burden. I never want to be burdening anybody. I'm like, it's not a big deal. I'm going to get up. You may not even be able to hear me. You might not even be able to see me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, so, I don't want you to, I don't want you to go out of your way. She said, it's not out of my way. I want to be there to support you. I don't care. I don't care if you say one word. I'm coming. We coming. So her and her boyfriend left from San Antonio, and they drove to Austin, and they were right there in the crowd. So my baby was right there with me, watching me, taking little videos. So if you see some videos that I posted on my Instagram, that was my baby taking those videos. And I don't have any of the day before, because I didn't have anybody with me, because my girl was at her concert. Y'all got what I'm saying? It was not a requirement, right? I'm good. I was good in my space, but I'm just letting y'all know what actually happened. But when she could be there, she put everything down, honey, all 10 toes, okay? And 10 fingers. And she showed up, okay, for her mama. It's my best friend. And so she videotaped it. So I want to shout out to my baby and her boyfriend. I love y'all. And y'all know I love y'all so, so, so much. And I appreciate y'all loving me. Okay, y'all. So let me just tell y'all as I'm exiting now, I'm about to exit. But I'm gonna end this because that was my weekend doing something that I didn't even think that I was going to have the opportunity to do, but yet I was prepared for because life already prepared me for it. God is working, y'all. God is working. Don't fight life. Start flowing with it. But okay, so this restaurant, one day I said I wanted something good. So the first day I was kind of rushing. So I was starving. So I actually went to they ain't gonna give me no money for this. Neither one of these restaurants gonna give me no money, even though I would love some advertisement dollars on here. But I'm authentic, so I'll just tell you. So the first day, I didn't have time to go look at something new or whatever, because I kind of drove in and then had to kind of prepare for that evening. So I went to PF Chang. So I went to PF Chang and I get me some Kung Pao chicken. I like that with some fried rice. Okay, so that was good. That was the first day. The second day, I said, I want something good to eat. I want something good to eat. I said, I want some Jamaican food. That's what I want. Ooh, I want something good. So I go on my little phone, as y'all know we do. My daughter taught me how to do that, okay? So I go on my phone and I start looking, and I looked at the reviews, and I go to this Jamaican restaurant, and it was called the Trap House. It was called the Trap House. It was so good, y'all. It was so good. The Trap House in Austin, Texas is worth your time. Like got a little video, show you a little video of what it looked like, the little inside of it. Let me just tell y'all what I got. I got some jerk chicken. It was good. It was seasoned. I didn't need to put any salt or anything on there, okay? I had some cabbage. I had some beans and rice. I think it was like coconut beans and rice, or, coconut rice with the beans in it. I had a side of macaroni and cheese, and it was awesome. And in addition to that, what they also have, they have all kinds of drinks and stuff. I think they had some sweets. I didn't indulge in any of those things. Drank my water. But they also offered, I believe, some candy yams and some collard greens. Now, I didn't taste those two, but I feel like going back now. I'm in Dallas now. I can't even go. But the food was so good to me, y'all, that I literally wanted to go the next day when I was leaving and checking out to come back home. Which was yesterday, I really wanted to go back to the Trap House to take me a plate to drive back home so I could eat it. But I said to myself, Andrea said, yes, I think that might be being greedy. I think that might be being greedy. You've had it. It was good. You don't want to mess it up. Y'all know sometimes you can have too much of something. You don't want to mess it up. So just accept that experience, that it was good. It was delicious. Yeah. Remember that so that the next time you come back, you always know you got a good place that you can go and eat some good Caribbean food. It was delicious. Okay. And I will just say this. I think they got like a bar on top and a party over here and a party to the left. But you don't even have to look at all that if you're not into that. Now, if you are into it, then you go on and join it. But you don't even have to look at all that. You just go on in and you just put your order in. And so it was delicious. All right, y'all. And so then after let me see, the last night of all the performances. Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and be honest. So, all the way honest. I always want to be. So, I ordered that food and I ate the Trap House food, and it was delicious, but it was a lot. So, I ate half of it. I ate half. because I was full. And y'all know what? I knew I had to put on that dress. And y'all know that when you put on that dress, and this is whether you a man or a woman, and you listen to this, if you eat too much before you get ready to go somewhere, your stomach starts to protrude. And so I knew I was going to be on stage, and I had this little dress that was like kind of satin, and I just did not want to be looking like I was having a baby that I just could never ever have again. You know what I'm saying? That just ain't never happening. But I just didn't want to look, like I was pregnant, because it just don't make sense. Why would I be pregnant? Right. Okay. So I ate half of it, probably a little less than half of it, because I was, trying to be conservative so I could try to, stay a little snatch for the dress. But let me tell y'all something. When that night was over, and I took my heels off, I had some high heel boots on, I put my jacket on, and I could not wait until I got back to that room, and I walked in flip-flops back to my hotel, okay, by myself. Somebody was like, "Are you scared of the homeless people that's out here? You scared to walk back by yourself?" I ain't scared to walk back by, no, because listen, y'all, I had 20/20 vision. I knew that I was going to get back to that room, take that food out of my refrigerator, put it in the microwave, and heat that food up and eat it. I couldn't wait. So when the people who I knew, at the club, when I was walking out, like, okay, I'm finished, good night, everything was good, took my boots off, put my flip-flops on, put my jacket on, and start walking. They was like, "Oh, there's so many homeless people out here. Like, are you afraid of them?" I'm like, "What? I told you I grew up around New York City, New Jersey. Like, no, I get it. I get it. I love the homeless people, and the homeless people love me. They don't want to harm me. No, they chilling. This is their place. I'm going to make sure that I'm courteous and give them their space and their grace, because I got some business at the room." Y'all, I got back to that room. I heated up that food, and it was everything. So that is why the next day, after I went to sleep and woke up, I was like, I want some more Trap House. And that, y'all, is why, family, is why I said, now, Andrea, you being greedy. Yeah, you being greedy. You didn't had that thing for lunch, and then you had it for dinner at 2:30 in the morning. Okay? You being greedy. Just come on, check on out, get in that car and drive back home. And the next time you come to Austin, you can check out the Trap House again. And so, y'all, that's how I ended my weekend. So, family, y'all already got the message. The message is that God created you to do many things. He created you with many gifts, and the opportunities will come. So I just want you to be prepared. And when they come and you're prepared, because I want you to look at how life is preparing you. And that comes from being grounded and being present in life as you live. That will help you when the opportunity is presented for you to get on stage, and that's whatever that stage is for you, and for you to welcome the guests no matter how big the audience is. So that was for me. But I don't know what your thing is. What is that gift? What is that gift? Is it baking? Is it singing? Is it dancing? Is it sewing clothes? Is it selling real estate? What is that gift where you connect to people? Because that's the thing. Look in your life and you see how God is just unraveling things, how you're getting better and better at whatever that gift is. It's the thing that you do that just lights you up, where you have resonance, where you resonate when you're doing it, when you actually in that space, and you just feel magical. You just feel magical. That's it. That's when you're in alignment. So what is that for you? Because I want y'all to feel that feeling that I felt. And I want y'all to know that I do believe that more is coming. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know who's going to give me the opportunity. I don't know who God's going to work through, but I know more is coming, because although I know that this was a huge opportunity for me, and I am forever grateful to Susie and to Keith. I am forever grateful. I also know that at that speakeasy, at the Funk Factory, was setting me up for something that's coming next. All right, so I want y'all to be thinking about what's your thing. What is your thing? Because God gave you many gifts. All right, family, I love you so much. I love you long time. And this is another episode of the Mental Health is a Lifestyle podcast with your girl, Andrea Wise Brown. And don't you forget to click this little button up here and subscribe to the podcast, like the podcast, and share the podcast. Share this goodness with others. If it makes you feel good, then it's going to make somebody else feel good. You don't have to, all the work you have to do is just share it. All right? All right. So I will see you guys on the next episode.